Hello, and thank you for joining us for this on-demand training on deaf and hard of hearing students. Deafness, like other disabilities, has many different levels and different impacts on a student's learning. While some students are totally deaf, others are hard of hearing. Some students may be deaf from birth, and others may experience late deafness. The way that each of these students access your course material will vary. You may have students who are born deaf and are very proficient in ASL or American Sign Language. Or you may have hard of hearing students and students who are late deafened, having just lost their hearing due to illness or accident. Please feel free to discuss specific needs with the student. In your classroom, you may have professionals providing different types of accommodations for deaf students. One of the professionals is an ASL interpreter. This is a highly trained person who will translate your words into ASL. The interpreter doesn't explain or interject any materials, but translates your language exactly. Another type of service provided is captioning. CART is Communication Access Real-Time Translation. Another type of captionist is a CPrint captionist. CPrint is a speech-to-text process that allows a student to read what you say. This may be a remote captionist who hears classroom communication through a laptop microphone, or an on-site captionist who is in the classroom. You may also see students wearing an FM system or an assisted listening device, an ALD. If you do have a student with an ALD, please be aware that you may be asked to wear a lanyard that will amplify your voice for the ALD. Please be aware that if you're asked to wear a microphone, you also may need to repeat your classroom comments or questions into that mic so the captionist or the student using the ALD will have access to that information. During instruction, there are a few things that you should keep in mind with a deaf student in class. First, be sure to face the class when speaking. Deaf students pick up a lot from your facial expressions and may be lip reading your speech. Also consider the audio and visual materials that you are using to support learning objectives. Any materials used need to be captioned. For assistance with this, you can reach out to OSD and to your campus's Center for Teaching and Learning Innovation. When you first meet an interpreter, please provide them with a syllabus and any vocabulary that they may need to learn for your class. Interpreters have a large vocabulary, but some content must have a specific sign attributed to it. If you have an extra desk copy of the text, that's helpful too, so that the interpreter can preview the lessons and prepare. When you speak to the student, remember that you do not need to look at the interpreter. Look directly at the student. Don't worry that you might be speaking too quickly. The interpreter or captionist may ask you to repeat or clarify if they miss an important concept, but typically you'll not need to slow down. Deaf students cannot look at the interpreter and thus listen to the lecture and read PowerPoint slides or any other written material at the same time. They listen with their eyes. So if you have a lot of written information, it's helpful to hand the student a copy or give them a few minutes to read before speaking as you're preparing notes or written material. Deaf students can be required to complete all assignments just like every other student. If they need an interpreter for an outside assignment or meeting, they simply need to fill out the request online. More information for students and faculty alike can be found on the OSD website. If you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to contact the OSD office. Thank you.